This is Mudra. I am an architect and I have been practicing as an architect since 2011. I head my design firm which goes by the name The Design Umbrella. So our attitude towards design is always a combination of academics and practicality which is there in the market. Ever since I was in school, I was always artistically inclined. And what started as a hobby has now become a form of therapy for me. So whenever I'm burned out, whenever I'm stressed, I always turn to art. I feel the act of creating something is extremely meditative. So it kind of helps me relax and reconnect to a calmer version of myself. For me, art is never an accessory. I always feel that art is a very simple yet powerful tool which can instantly bring depth, life, and even a sense of drama to any space. And art, I think, remains an accessory if the designer selects it based on fleeting trends. If the selection of an art and conceptualization of it is process-driven, I think it adds timeless value to any space or project. So usually my approach is not incorporating art, we integrate it with the design process. So usually selection of art doesn't happen towards the end of the project. It is already a part in our initial conceptual sketches. So in that way, I am able to ensure that my architecture or my spaces and the art, they all follow a similar language and it is not something like an add-on. And so it also helps in convincing the clients to, invest in art, to why art is an essential part, because it's not an add-on and it's always been there since the design was discussed. Since we include some sort of art, if we have to include an art in a space, we're including right from the conceptual discussions. So it becomes easier to convince the client to, include art in their designs, and its relevance also is then well established since the beginning or the initial process of design. So it doesn't require a lot of convincing at the later stages. I think my intent remains the same. It is consistent irrespective of the project. But yeah, the kind of language that I would want for a residential project as compared to a commercial changes drastically. For residentials, you have a lot of exploratory options. So we've tried using engraving on stone and veneer with column patterns. We've tried customizing curtains with pieces of art and things like that. In commercial, I think you need to be a little more restrained, because if you overdo with the art expression, I think the branding of that particular office or firm kind of gets a little affected. So you have to be a little restrained. So I usually prefer neutral tones, clean geometry, and abstracts. So I think one artist that instantly comes to mind is Raza, because he's one artist who has managed to stay relevant in all kind of projects. His color palette has like a complete he has a complete spectrum of color palette. It's meaningful art. Lot of value is there. So I think that is one person which is like, a very safe choice for any kind of art. But otherwise, depending on the depending on the language, we do customize quite a few pieces, and some we just buy it from various platforms. Definitely. And I don't think this need for awareness is limited to only art. It is required in all creative fields, even for architecture and interiors, be it artwork, be it sculpture, be it anything. I feel that a lot of people don't understand the process behind it, and that a lot of time, effort and energy goes behind creating a simple piece of art. For them, it's just like a frame, but they don't understand how much effort, soul, thinking, everything goes. So I think there has to be ways in which this has to be put across to everybody. Only then would people be able to truly appreciate art and its value.